So I've found right now, in this age of mobile phones and instant access to information on social media and everything else, that it's really easy to get wrapped up in the moment and make rash judgments and rash decisions and everything else, just because information is being bombarded at us so fast. So that's where I've found that actually literally getting out a notebook, writing things out by hand, slowing the process down. It slows down kind of that input, and you write out your notes, you write out an outline of what you want to say, and then I go back and I do it twice. But I do this by hand. I don't put it in a teleprompter. I don't put it. I don't even type it out and print it out or everything, because I have notes and I have an outline of what I want to say, but it's still not scripted. And I think that's important, because what I'm saying now is completely unscripted, completely off the cuff. But it focuses my thought process. It makes me really want to stress the points that I want to make, and it doesn't get me carried away with a lot of different things. I will say a lot of people probably do this a lot differently, especially in the influencer, podcaster type community. I mean, a lot of the big voices and everything that you see, they have support teams that are going out there, curating the news for them, curating current events, writing them in, they have a lot of help. So for someone who's small and truly independent, I'm not going to put out 3 videos a day. I'm lucky to get one a week, one every 2 weeks, just because, trying to keep up with normal life, and also, bring my thoughts to camera. And that's why I call this playlist on the channel, that's why I call it my journal. Because really, that's what this is. This is an explanation of my journal, like the important things that I'm keeping track of right now. In one way, to organize my thoughts and to organize my opinions, but in some ways, for posterity too. Because who knows, someday my children or my grandchildren may want to look back at this moment in time, and now there's a record for them. I had a phone call with my best friend's dad, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or so. And I had a phone call with him, and we talked for about 45 minutes, just because I wanted to get his take on current events and his take on the way our country is going, and the way it's going now versus the way that he saw it then, when he fought in Vietnam and before he fought in Vietnam. Because these are questions I would have liked to have asked my father, but my father has, passed away. So one of the things that he said was, information is just coming at us so fast right now that it's hard to even keep track of it all when we're so bombarded. So that's where I found that taking a step back, writing things down, and maybe making one video a week, one video every 2 weeks, that really helps me distill the big picture, and really, have an informed opinion, I think, because I've taken that time to sit there and think about it. and write it out, that I think it's pretty lacking right now in our definitely in our definitely in our legacy media, and even in our independent media too. I mean, as a society, we don't allow for that kind of time anymore, just to get information out there and hear people's reactions to it and their reflections on it. So I'm saying that because I think it's important that we all slow down a little bit. You know, if we want to stay engaged and we want to stay up on current events, we want to stay up on politics, I think we all should. But I also think we should all, you know, take the time to journal a little bit, just to in some ways just to document our thoughts and our opinions, put them down on paper, just so we don't get in this continual cycle of, you know, we're instantly bombarded and hit with something that's gonna trigger us right away and get under our skin right away. And so all we're doing is just merely reacting to the latest thing. So yeah, sometimes I will let things simmer a little bit, sometimes not. But I do want people to know that I have taken the time to, sometimes better, sometimes worse, to write them down and you know, kind of refine my thoughts. So just a thought for everybody out there, you know, who might be watching my videos too. Just, you know, take 10 minutes after a big event happens. You know, write down your reaction to it. A day or two later, go back and reread that. Go back and rewrite that. You know, maybe, you know, in my case, I actually keep two journals. I keep a rough draft and I keep kind of a, you know, a more refined draft journal. But that's how I do it. Everybody has their own way. Everybody has their own style. Sometimes, like I said, I'm better about doing it than others, but it's something I really want to strive for. You know, it's a goal. Just take a breath, take a step back, slow down a little bit, put my thoughts down on paper, go back, think about it, rewrite them again. I mean, it's part of that. It's part of that editorial process. But I'm not also. I'm in a good position because this is not my day job. This is not my day job at all. I'm in a position where I'm not forced to put stuff out there every day, multiple times a day. You know, I have the luxury of thinking about it and reflecting on it, getting, you know, seeing the gamut of different news sources on a particular topic before I'll, you know, write my thoughts and opinions down. So anyway, take that for what it's worth.